Here we go, take one. Welcome to the Chapped A Podcast, a face for radio. I'm your host, Chap Green, bringing it to you from the stock. 5 foot 10 inches above sea level, baby. Meeting at the corner of Sports and Life Boulevard today, Coach. I got the coach, Rob Grainer, here with me today. How are you today, Coach?
I'm wonderful, Chap. I am so excited. Actually, we're actually sitting down for the first time doing this, and we've kind of talked about this for a while. I'm so honored that you actually asked me to be part of this. So a little different. Never done this before, so it'll be kind of fun to kind of go along. How are you doing, by the way?
I'm doing great, man. It feels like Murphy's Law is kind of taken over for a minute, though, doesn't it? It seems like that what could go wrong has gone wrong.
Yes.
We did a bunch of predictions, preseason stuff, and got ready to go, and then we got delayed a little bit by the IT side of it. Yeah. But I think we're up and ready to run and excited to get going.
Yeah, we did a lot. We did a couple practice runs, and it was fun. But hopefully, I'm hoping that all this technology that you and the company of Chap Ass have really kind of pushed forward, that we're going to be successful doing this, because this is something that it's your dream, and we're going to talk about that. But this is awesome.
Well, with our media company, Hardpan Media, they're going to make your face and my face look better, which is about the only shot we got. Now, they may black us out, but they're going to make our faces look better.
I don't know about that.
Make our voices sound better. I mean, make everything go.
Right.
So, but it's opening day.
Can they make my voice sound better? Because that's what I'm more worried about.
We have a much better shot on your voice than we do on your head.
Nice. All right. Well, that's a good thing.
No, but it's opening day. I just want to get going. I want to let the audience know who we are, what we are, and kind of get to know us. I mean, you've been coaching for 117 years, right? I mean, since Moby Dick was a minnow.
Jesus and I are right off the same,
That's correct.
Same time frame. No. I've been coaching high school sports since 1991.
Wow.
A long time. And I've moved from the north down here. Got into coaching high school at the high school that I'm currently still at. It's been a wild ride. In coaching, you kind of go ups and downs. You have great seasons. You have seasons where you're not doing as well as you'd like to. Doesn't mean that that's not a great season. Some of my most memorable seasons are teams that you don't win with.
Right.
But you could see the improvement, and you have to work hard and every win was cherished. When you win a lot, it just becomes natural. And when you win very few games, it's like, wow, this is awesome.
Right.
But, I've had my fair share of ups and downs. I just really think that, giving back to the community has been something that I've been very blessed to be a part of, and being able to stay in the community. So that's another kind of cool thing. And then it's kind of led me in different avenues that we're going to talk about more, but it's led me in an avenue to work with, Atlanta Braves on the grounds crew for 3 seasons after I retired, and now I'm teaching half days. And it led me into a different avenue to kind of work with MLB Network, doing ballpark cam.
Don't let this guy fool you, folks. He's got a Rolodex about as big as Norm from Cheers barbell.
Yeah, right. But it's been a very cool thing for me to go through, and I've been very blessed to have a family that supports me through this whole thing, and it hasn't always been easy.
Being a coach's wife is brutal.
Oh, my wife couldn't wait for me to stop coaching, and then I went into the truest thing, and she was like, "Nah, this is." I'm like, I already said no more coaching, but now this is even more. So, we had to change our ways a little bit.
Well, you're gone a lot, right? I mean, you're gone about.
Yeah, I was gone until midnight last night, from the Braves game that I worked, and. It's one of those things that, it does take a little toll on you, but I'm going to treat my wife to a nice weekend this weekend.
There you go.
We're going to get away. We're going to leave tomorrow and kind of go down to the beach and kind of have some our time.
Sure.
And we haven't had that. We didn't take a spring break, so we worked. So it was kind of like, this is a nice break for us to have. So.
Well, good.
Okay, so Chap, when you called me, actually, this is how it all came about. You called me to be one of the people that you wanted to interview. I'm like, Chap, you need, and I was kind of joking around, like, you need me, man. You need me.
That's right.
But what made you kind of get into this and start it all up? Because I was intrigued immediately once you talked to me.
Once we talked about
give me a little bit about your background. So, because I really don't know it all either. We've talked and we're friends, but I didn't understand. I was shocked that you had a broadcasting degree. Never knew that.
Degree, he said, folks. Degree.
Well,
University of South Alabama. Cheap plug.
You talk about that. So I want to know a little bit more about you, and I think the audience will definitely want to know more about you, since you're the face of the program, so I'm just a sidekick.
I'm the face for radio, Coach, not the face for the program. Okay, so there's a reason we say that. We're self-deprecating.
Right.
But Coach, I would say grab your Diet Coke, sit back, take a sip. It's going to take me a few minutes because I would love to get the audience to know who I am, where I am, and how I came about this.
I'm going to plug this little product right here.
As you mentioned, I mean,
Diet Coke. They put cherry in this thing.
Yeah,
dude, game changer.
Do they not?
They do. Look.
Oh, it is Diet Cherry Coke. My fault. There you go.
Yeah, cherry Diet Coke. My daughter over spring break hit me up with one of these. I'm like, what is this? I go, oh, this is awesome. So anyway, I didn't mean to get off.
Well, no, but hey, there's your cheap plug for Cherry Diet Coke. Sponsors, call us now while we're on our rookie contracts, please.
It is an Atlanta product, so we got to hit it.
But call us now while we're on our rookie contracts before we get too expensive, right, Coach? Get us now
exactly.
With that fifth-year option still out there. But no, I would just, so growing up, my parents were divorced. I lived in a few cities. I was born in Mobile, Alabama, quickly moved to Dallas, Texas, then to Houston, on to Ohio. So you'll sort of see where some of my fandom comes from on some of this, but then quickly moved back to Dallas later on in life. And of course, that's where most of my sports life and stuff took place. I grew up in Texas back in the day. So it's been a minute. But so growing up, man, my first remembering of sports was my first baseball game was the Houston Astros at the Cincinnati Reds in Old Riverfront Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. But I'm talking about bench. I'm talking about Dave Concepcion, Pete Rose, Tony Perez, Dan Dreesen.
Dave Parker.
Yeah, I'm leaving a bunch of them out.
You
Absolutely.
Can't leave him out.
I'm leaving Cesar Cedeno, I believe, was with them. I'm leaving a bunch of them out. But the first game I ever attended was at Riverfront Stadium. And my mother had gotten remarried, and I didn't know a lot about other than I love Pete Rose, the slide on his stomach, the Charlie Hustle slide. So I'd run around the house, and I'd always go dive on the bed. So my mother would...
Is that what happened with your head?
That's right. That's my finger too.
That's your finger too.
That's right. That's right. That's what happened to the face, Coach. Yes, it got mauled a little bit. But
people, you're not up close to them, so you know.
But emulating Pete Rose, I mean, it couldn't be much worse. Now I didn't get the gambling side of that, unfortunately, but I'm glad he is in the Hall of Fame, by the way, as well. So, but my first autograph that I got, I was at Riverfront Stadium. So the first ball game I ever went to, and I've got it out here today. You can see how old and beat up that ball is. Coach, take a look at some of the names on that thing. That's from 1976, 77, or 78. I'd say probably 78 to 79. Yeah, some fantastic, cool names.
That's big.
Yeah, Joe Morgan. I mean, some of those guys, I used to love them, the Joe Morgan pump. But so my stepdad went down to the dugout.
I called the chicken wing that he had.
There you go. So recall I said I went from Dallas to Houston to Dayton. When we were in Houston, my old stepdad, he was the GM of TGI Fridays. He got promoted to Dayton, so we moved to Dayton. So he knew all the Houston Astros. Well, Houston was playing at Cincinnati. I was there for Cincinnati. My stepdad, who I won't mention names, had walked down, and back then $100 I'm sure was a lot of friggin' money. My stepdad, I'm sorry, Cincinnati Reds and Houston Astros, he didn't have $100. But he walked down with something in his hand, and he came back up with a baseball autographed by the entire team. So that was kind of my first experience, and I thought, okay. And now if you'll look around, you see I collect everything, right?
Yeah.
So I got addicted at 7, 8, 9 years old.
I look, that's a shrine in here, and it's really cool. I mean, your facility here is unbelievable. I always wanted a man cave. Never had the guts to do it, and I don't think my wife would appreciate it. So you're very lucky. Some wives don't appreciate that,
It's called an office, Coach, not a man cave. It's an office. That's what we're going to call this. Now it's called a studio.
Studio
for the Chapped A Podcast, right? A face for radio.
That's right.
So as I got a little bit older, 9, 10, 11 years old, again, divorced parents. Most of my family lived in Mobile, Alabama, Chickasaw, Alabama. Shout out to be real. And my grandmothers both lived in Chickasaw. And my grandmother, when the Braves games would come on my dad's side, would go to the back of the house to watch the Braves game.
Nice.
My granddad would sit up front and watch something different. So I'd go to the back to watch the Braves games with my grandmother, Sarah. Shout out, grandmother, posthumously. But grandmother, Sarah, would go watch the games. But she was watching the games. She's listening to the play-by-play. She loved Ernie and Skip and those guys. I mean, she just couldn't get enough of those guys. And so she would laugh at all their corny jokes. Of course, I didn't get them at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. So, but I grew up in those Murphy days. You think of the Dale Murphy days. Of course, there were some lean years too. But, moving forward, my first Braves game was at Fulton County Stadium, the old Fulton County Stadium.
I've been there.
Yeah, I know you have.
I mean, when I first moved here, you could sit in a whole section by yourself.
Absolutely.
And spread out.
Well, in the 80s, you could do the same thing when they were
Yeah.
terrible. Now,
Yeah.
maybe those couple years they made the playoffs in Murph's run, they were good. But other than that, you could find a seat anywhere. Heck, I could sit by Ted Turner if I needed to back in the day, if he wasn't managing the game for the day. So we went to, got to go watch Dale Murphy, Bob Horner, and I can't remember a bunch of those guys, but probably Bruce Benedict, maybe Biff Pocaroba, some of those old cats like that. By the way, I know Biff Pocaroba as well, but name drop. But so got to go to those games. Took an old buddy of mine. Got to hang out, watch the doubleheader, which was amazing. Like you said, there was nobody there. It was against the Dodgers. That's back when we were in the National League West.
Yeah, Tony Lasorda.
Yeah, Lasorda, Tommy.
Tommy. I knew it was right.
He's terrible at names, folks. Just so you know, you'll get used to that.
And as a teacher, my kids will be like, "Hey, how you doing?" After I taught them after a semester, they're gone. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, buddy? You all right?"
Was his name Vasco da Gama or was his name Vinny da Gama?
And then be like, "Oh yeah, my name is." Oh, that's right.
But getting into the sports realm, which is what we're really here, is because we're sports junkies, I believe, is why we're here, and that led us into coaching. But I got into playing soccer at 7, 8 years old out in Dallas, and then moved on to baseball, moved on to football, moved on to basketball, moved on to track. Can you believe I ran track?
Looking at you right now?
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
Would you believe I was a sprinter or a distance runner? Don't answer that.
You were definitely, I don't know. I would say if you were going to do something in track, maybe shot put.
That's right.
No, maybe you were a sprinter.
You're just talking about the guns is why you say shot put.
Yeah, you keep thinking.
Yeah. No, I was a sprinter, coach. I was the lead leg of the 4x back in the day in high school,
There you
believe it or
go.
not, in the biggest classifications in
Nice.
Texas back in the day. Shout out
Nice.
Garland High School. But so when I was playing ball, I was probably 7, 8, 9, 10 years old and started playing baseball. And back then, you either rode your bike to the field to practice because there was one bag with 4 helmets and some bats and catcher's equipment.
Old school Little League.
Yes,
you
absolutely.
Had one Easton bat that everybody wanted
That's
to hit
it.
from, and then you had gloves and. Heck, we even played in our jeans. We didn't even have baseball pants.
I
when
never
first
played in my
started.
jeans.
Oh man, I did. I remember playing in my jeans one time because we, like, way back when.
Yeah,
who
right.
cares?
Well, you certainly didn't have 4 pair of pants and 5 jerseys,
No,
2
not
helmets,
like
and
these
4
kids.
bats. It costs
Yeah.
$500 anymore.
No.
So I had some back then. That's when coaches kind of got a hold of me. Coach Creel, I was playing. I guess I was probably playing pony baseball, 11, 12 baseball back in the day, and Coach Creel would have to take me to practice and bring me home.
Sure.
Every single time. So I'd ride my bike to his son's house. They'd get in the car, and his older son coached with him, and he would have a cigarette in his hand, and his window rolled down, in a white, creepy carpet van.
This is Texas?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I could just imagine this thing.
Now
right
you see what's wrong with me,
Yeah,
right?
I could definitely.
So
There was nothing else going on, but between the cigarette and everything else.
I'm in the back of the
Did
van.
he have a mullet?
You know what? I don't remember.
Dude, if
what
he
his
had a
hair looked
mullet,
like.
that would totally fit the image.
I would say he was losing his hair back then, so he was
Okay.
probably thinner, but a great man. And from there, got into middle school, and I have a funny story to tell you. I'm going to go ahead and drop it now. This is a great story. It's going to take a second, but we were at Jackson Middle School, 8th grade year, getting ready to roll into high school. I played football all the way through. In our 8th grade year, you're kind of sponsored by the school. You're using their equipment and whatnot in Texas. And the last day of your 7th grade year, they bring all the kids in that want to play football for the next year in 8th grade for the middle school. 3 coaches. They were awesome guys as well. And they said, last year, we had a kid named Mark Ginn. He was a turd, which is a Texas term, but I think it's a universal coach's term.
We all know what a turd is.
A turd is, but a Texas turd is something that I learned early and often. So
Yeah.
Mark Ginn was a turd. He went to Garland High School where I would eventually go, and they said he's up there now as a freshman. He's turned his whole life around as far as a good kid, a coachable kid,
Right.
and what a great guy he was. And I was like, man, well, that's so cool to think that kid graduated, so to speak, grew up a little bit. So the next year, I play 8th grade football.
Did they say, we had this guy named Chap Green?
The next year they did.
Oh,
So I
you
go
were that guy?
Yes, I go my freshman year. I go play high school at Garland High School,
Nice.
same place as Ginn did. And I have all these kids coming up from 8th grade that went to Jackson. They're like, hey, can we have your autograph? I'm like, autograph? What are you talking about? They were joking, obviously.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Coach Baker. They were talking about, Coach Lucas. They're talking about this
You were
kid.
the turd.
This kid was the turd in 8th grade, and now he's a good kid in high
So
school.
they had this whole thing scripted every year.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Unfortunately, I played the lead role of the turd.
You own it.
Into high school, absolutely. But I turned it around. But I didn't have a choice once I
Right.
got to high school. Our
Sure.
coaches were in 9-5A Dallas, Texas football, Garland High School. I mean, those coaches were no joke. I mean, I had some of the best men lead me there. And so from Coach Creel and some of those guys taking me to games and taking good care of me when I was a youth, Then I get into high school, and I met some of the finest men that I've ever met.
Right.
And I say that after I've graduated high school, because they were pretty hard on me growing up. Because again, you think they were still a little turd in me, right? Moving into the high school, and the coaches would agree with that as well. But some of those same guys that I'm talking about, that high school, that mentored me and made me kind of where I'm at and want to coach and be a better person in sports, they're going to be on the show in our first few guests. So I'm excited about that opportunity.
Well, I'm excited to find out a little bit more about you being a turd.
Yes.
So I mean,
worry more about my speed than the turdism.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not worried. Is he really saying he's as fast as he really is, or is this a fishtail?
Right.
Because if it's a fishtail, then
it could
more
be.
power to you.
That's right.
Because it's the way you remember yourself. So don't worry about it.
But they kept you on the straight and narrow. But there was another way they'd keep you on the straight and narrow, and that's called paddling. In the old days, you were allowed to paddle.
When I first started to teach down here in the South, there was paddling still going on. I had to witness one, and I was like, dude, no.
Coach, I've been getting licked. We called them licks in Texas.
Yeah.
I've been getting licked since I was in second grade.
So you were the turd.
I was the turd,
All
exactly.
right.
So, but there's there's like 2 times I didn't deserve it, but every other one. So yeah, there was way more than 2 I did deserve it. But if you ever got a detention in high school, you couldn't miss football. Detentions you'd have to serve after school, which would make you miss football practice, and you would much rather get a
lick than miss practice.
It's 3 licks. It wasn't a lick, but it's 3 licks.
Yeah.
So we call it burn it off. So I'd have to go in there and get my licks burned off, so I wouldn't miss practice. And I'm sure our coaches know about it, but I never told them. But from there, I kind of got into I got into umpiring. I umpired for 14 or 15 years. I know, right? Think about that again.
I'm already starting to laugh at that image too.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about 5'10" above sea level. I mean, how are you able to see over the catcher on that one?
That's right.
When they were talking about blind mice, you're one of them.
Right. Well, plus, with these eyes, of course, absolutely. Dun, 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 dun. But then I sort of
ABS would have a field day with you.
100%. Yes.
Okay.
I wouldn't be as bad as Eric Gregg, but I'd be pretty bad.
Oof.
Yes.
All right.
After a game, I may have to ice my eyes down because I missed a few calls. You know what I mean? So, but then obviously family takes over, kids take over. Got 3 beautiful kids.
Now you're a Duke fan. I mean, I'm just going to go this. You're a big Duke fan.
Absolutely.
And you grew up in Texas and Ohio. And your Duke fan goes way deep in your family.
Sure.
So tell me how you incorporated Duke into your family.
I'll be happy to. So my grandfather on my dad's side, you'll notice Duke and Auburn. There's a correlation there.
Yeah.
My whole family is Auburn. Are all Auburn fans on both sides.
Right.
But my dad, his father, Jack, he was a Auburn graduate with a economics degree. Or excuse me, a Duke graduate with an economics degree, and then he transferred to Auburn and got his pharmaceutical degree.
Okay.
So I make it work, right? I used to be Auburn football and Duke basketball. Now it's Auburn basketball and Duke everything else. I don't know right now because their sports aren't so good. But so that's kind of how that came to be. But I also got recruited by Duke. I've got letters from Duke back in the day, but they were never good. The schools that recruited me that I took some visits to were never any good. I didn't take a visit to Duke, but Duke was one of them. High academic standards. That was a little tough, but as a football player, C's get degrees, right? You can get in most places. So,
and in this day and age, who really cares about their grades? They just want the NIL.
That's right. I mean, that's right.
What's the next best thing you could do?
Well, there was no NILs when I was playing. Obviously,
obviously, I know that too.
If there was, I probably would have gotten Pepsi and some donuts and some Fritos and some
little Krispy Kreme box of donuts for you.
Absolutely, all the good things. But so moved into umpiring for a while, and then after I got out of umpiring, I met my beautiful wife, got married, had kids. I got 3 beautiful kids. I was saying, Mary Kate, Connor, and Cameron. Not Cameron Indoor, but Cameron Green.
There you go. That's where I was kind of leading to. I mean, you name your kid, and I'm not gonna. I love Chapp's daughter. Cameron is one of my favorite students of all time. And this is how we kind of met, was through sports and your kids.
Yes, sir.
And
well, let me say why real quick, because I'm not going to let him brag on himself, because that's not what we do here. Unless it's me.
I will not brag on myself.
Unless it's me.
I try not to.
But Coach Grainer is my daughter's favorite teacher. So every time they have the softball event where you bring your teacher appreciation night, she's put her arm around you 3 years in a row, and we're going to go for the...
We're going to go for the 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah.
I mean,
didn't we say we were going to come up with a new name for that, like the quadfecta?
The
quadfecta. We're going for the 4-peat, baby. The 4-peat, the quadfecta.
I might be the only teacher ever at my high school to have that.
That's right. That's right. I like it.
I'll bring out all 4 plaques and say, "Look, here I am." It'll be actually that's one of the biggest honors as a teacher, as a coach.
Right.
That's one of the biggest honors is when your students select you to be up there as their favorite, and it's not just because I'm like their favorite. It's because we've done something for them.
Sure.
But I always asked her in class, I said, really, Cameron? Like, how'd you get Cameron? She told me the story before I ever knew
Right.
the true story from you.
Sure.
And I'm like, dude, your dad, come on, man. Because I'm a North Carolina fan.
We won't hold it against you.
And when you named her after Cameron.
Well, what if I would have named my son Hurley Leitner? Would that have been too obvious?
That would have been
I couldn't spell Krzyzewski, or otherwise that could have been,
yeah, that would have been
Krzyzewski Green.
Yeah, that name would not go well.
No, that would not do.
But anyway, that's and then your family story is really close to my heart because of your daughter
and that's
son.
why we're here.
Yeah,
I think it's amazing. Yeah. But I mean, so I now coach a travel ball team. I coach my son in football, baseball, and basketball. I've coached my daughter in basketball and softball and had a joy with all of it. Yeah. And I've now been coaching. You're 34 years in. I'm 16 years in. So we've got 50 years of combined coaching between us, man, which is amazing. Which is kind of where the perspective of what we want to talk about is, like where sports and life kind of meet. Mm-hmm. We have those perspectives, and we want to share them with other people, with other guests, with athletes, with players.
And oh gosh, it's like when you are a teacher and a coach, you get to influence a lot of people. And just this past week, and then I know we're going to get into talking about other things. I met this this former student of mine. She was our waitress, and she's like, I got you a key lime pie, coach. I was like, you didn't have to do that. She goes, no, you were my favorite one. So I was like, oh. And my wife looks at me, she goes, it's everywhere we go.
I love it.
So it's kind of a cool thing when you have that. And,
well, I've never heard a negative word about you from teaching. Well, maybe from the educational side, but not from, not from the likability side. But that's because you have a master's from Alabama. That's probably where I heard some of that stuff.
Roll Tide.
So, so I played ball. Yeah. I've coached ball. I've announced ball. When I was younger, I used to keep score for money. Yeah. I got into umpiring, as I stated, and then after umpiring into coaching, from coaching into scouting and recruiting, and then from coaching and scouting and recruiting back into coaching again. Yeah. And so I've coached varsity football at a school that with nobody there as a certified lay coach or whatever, So I just can't get enough of it. And so I want to give back to the players that I coach. I run an EC Bullets 18U travel team that's pretty solid. Won our last couple tournaments, by the way.
That's
shout out.
Solid.
Shout out
to East Cobb right there, bro.
And obviously Cameron plays with us as well. But yeah, and so I've gotten into the whole realm of all that. So I love the recruiting side of it, the scouting side of it, but I love coaching and competing and just being around kids and being around any kind of game.
And I think you got to have that love.
Absolutely.
And the guests that we're going to be bringing on all have that same kind of passion too.
There's no doubt about it.
And people that I've coached or you've coached or have coached us, have all influenced not just us, but others as well. So that's the coolest thing about this program. And then when you started to talk about what this program was going to be about, that's what really kind of drew me into this.
But we've got a deep bench of guests, Coach. I mean, we've got some quality individuals in multiple sports, in men's and women's. This is for men and women, boys and girls. This is for everyone.
Yeah. And we're going to keep building that list as we get
Absolutely.
Going. So that's the kind of cool thing about it all.
We want perspectives from everybody. Yeah. If you're a great player, you're running a great program, or maybe you used to run a great program, you've won a state championship, you've coached in the pros, you've played in the pros, we want to hear from you. Yeah. And we've got, like I said, a deep bench. Our bullpen is super deep.
It's getting there. And,
we got one for the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th now. So we're good to go. But I just have a quick question for you as we're talking about coaching.
Shoot.
And I know I didn't prep.
I don't really plug in myself at all. So.
Yes. Well, no, but I want to. This is not one of those plugs. This is the negative plug. So
negative plug.
Yeah.
So here we go. The bad stuff.
So you've coached boys lacrosse and girls lacrosse, correct?
I have.
Okay, and you coach boys basketball and girls basketball.
I have.
And I know you've coached other sports. Softball. Okay, so
volleyball. Golf. I think that would be it. Other than a lot of youth stuff, I did a lot of baseball
kids,
stuff. Baseball stuff.
So my question for you is, and you're welcome to ask me if you'd like.
Go ahead.
But my question for you is, how many times, if ever, have you been ejected from a game? I thought I was going to hear 0.
No, you didn't. I got one. I was young.
Yeah.
I was really young. And
what sport?
It was basketball.
Okay.
God, when you're sitting there when you're young, you feel like you got it all.
Full of pea and vinegar?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you think everything that you do is going to be a reflection of what you're going to become, and you got to find out who you really are by not being like what you see on TV. But I went after a referee after a call, and I walked out into the court, and I didn't really go after him, but I went to the referee, and the referee teed me up because I went on the court during the timeout, and he said, "Not another word." He goes, well, "I'm not going to get another word from you because you can't call anything right," and so he tossed me. And I turned around and I was like, "You tossed me for that?" And I'm thinking, this is a show, Bobby Knight stylish, And after that, I found out.
Wait, did you throw the chair?
No, but I had to go down, and I got kicked out. My
Sure.
my athletic director was down in the locker room waiting for me, and Joe Swan was my first athletic director, and he's like, "Rob," and he's this nice Southern guy. He goes, "You can't do that down here in the South.
Right.
You can't be that vocal, and you can't." And I learned a lot from that. And you had to sit. I had to sit out 2 games. The funny story with that is, I got thrown out of a JV game for that. My varsity coach, who I was coaching with, was David Patton. He's still alive. He lives down in Tift County. His son played for Jody played for University of Georgia.
Okay.
He is one of these guys that
Hardcore.
he was Bobby Knight.
Yeah.
And I remember him turning around and cussing me out when I called something and said something on the bench. He's like, and hopefully we're gonna get one of his former players who I coached with, and he's now a head coach as well, coming on. Anyway, he got tossed out of the same day game that the JV and varsity played.
Now,
so
was Curtis Pierce the referee for those?
No, Curtis. Shout out to Curtis Pierce.
Yeah, shout out to Curtis, right?
Yeah. No. But anyway, you could not coach in Georgia. You
had to sit out.
You had to sit out at the level you got thrown out.
Okay.
So he and I just flip-flopped.
Sure.
I coached varsity for 2 games. He coached JV for 2 games. And it ended up working out okay. And it actually probably made me grow even more because I had to prep and do the stuff for the varsity, and made me kind of become the next coach at Etowah.
Preparing me.
Yeah. But it was one of those things. Going back, I'm like, yeah. And I did some stupid things when I was young as a head coach too. And
didn't we all?
And you do regret. And I try to tell these other young coaches that are out there now, because I'm now the mentor. You can't do these kinds of things. But yes, you grow from them. I don't think anything less from you. We've all been there. We've all done it. We've all said things that we regret. We kind of pull back and say, shouldn't have probably done that or said that. And even as I got older, I still said things because I just have that. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm very direct.
Right.
And you might not.
That's because you're a Yankee. A transplanted Yankee, but you're still a dang Yankee.
But I was raised in New York.
Sure.
Yeah. So you get that point where I'm going to be direct. I am going to tell you what I think. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry.
No doubt.
And that's sometimes kind of down here in
there is a certain way you can sort of gently
say
those same things.
I'm doing better with that now after being down here for 30 plus years.
Right.
But yeah, I'm very direct. All right. So, Chap, since you asked me that question, and I know you're dying to ask this, what do you like? Have you ever been thrown out, or have you ever done anything to be thrown out?
Ooh, ancient Chinese secret.
Oh,
Coach,
really.
I have, yes. Yes. I told you I coached baseball, football, and basketball. Obviously football being the boys, but boys and girls, basketball, softball, baseball. I've been tossed twice in a baseball life. I've been tossed twice in a softball life. I've gotten 2 technicals. The first time I was ever tossed, and I'll leave it at this, first of all 4 ejections in softball and baseball were for the same 2 calls. So, it was interference at shortstop with a runner coming through, and you just got to be careful making that call, especially in crunch time. And the other one, which drives me crazy, is when you have a 2-man umpiring crew, and you got a right-handed batter, and you got people on base, and so the umpire's over here at third base.
And you can't see if they check.
And they challenged the check swing. I almost got kicked out a couple weeks ago. I went out and I said, "Sir, I have been kicked out twice for this exact same situation. You cannot make that call from over there."
Yeah.
It's just universal. If the home plate umpire doesn't call it, it's a no call.
It's a no call.
It's a no call, and you just eat it and you go. Yeah. But sometimes people are officiating.
Did he?
He didn't toss me.
No,
he called the strike.
Yeah,
he called the strike.
Yes. You can't do that.
So that's happened
that
twice.
Angle you can't do
that's happened twice, and I got tossed in 2 of them, and the third time I knew to.
That's why 2-person crews don't work.
Right. Well, again, but you got to know your rules. You're in the 6 hole. Just eat it.
Yeah.
Just eat it. Whatever your partner calls, you just eat it.
Whatever you got to go along. You don't overrule.
That's right.
That's
But I
like the
just
crew
thought
chief.
I thought I'd tell you that little Strider
That's a good
curveball right there. So that
I
thing
like
we've been
it.
working on.
I like
But
it.
let's switch gears a little bit. Let's move into some different sports talk,
Oh,
Coach.
I'd love.
I know
See,
you're
this is what we really wanted to talk about. I'm gonna stumble a little bit. I don't like talking about myself. I like talking about other stuff.
sure.
So,
Well, if you want to talk about me, you can join in with me because I love
no,
talking about myself.
no. We're good. I really love talking. I love hearing stories about people.
Right.
But I would rather hear stories about other people than about myself.
But think about what we just talked about with ejections and whatnot. I mean, sports and life coming together. If that happens, I mean, you learn from it, right?
You
So
do.
just like in life, I mean, you get in trouble in second grade, you know not to do that in fourth grade, right? You sort of learn from that. And that's what sports teaches us. And I would tell anybody that has a question, should they play or should they not play?
Always play.
Play sports.
Always.
It's just
and
like,
play multiple sports.
absolutely.
I'm tired of this whole one sport deal and
Well-
committing to one sport. Your daughter Cameron, she's trying different sports even as a
Just for-
upperclassman.
yeah.
So like just this year, she's trying a new sport. So give it a shot. And if you have kids,
And she
you
loved
know,
it.
and you're going to become a better athlete when you play multiple sports.
Sure.
And that's the biggest thing I could tell people. Like play these other sports. Just don't have them where they kind of coexist at the same season. Like
Well, that's the problem.
that's the problem right now in high school sports. Like
It's
when
all
I was
sports,
coaching,
even in travel.
when
There's
I was
no
coaching
off-seasons.
basketball for my girls, flag football was right. You're gonna miss a month and a half of the season. And I was like, you can't do that. You can't commit to one and not the other. And if you're gonna commit to one sport, go fully commit to that one sport. But you can't split that up.
Sure.
Now I've had athletes that play sports that are travel that are D1 in their other sport, and I have to work around that.
Absolutely.
There was a girl.
Well, because yours is the secondary sport, and you got to
Right.
respect that.
And I got to respect, I had two girls at the same time that were both D1. And they were both D1 in other sports. And there were two other sports. And they were both doing I had to work around that.
Sure.
And some parents didn't understand that. Like, but this is something that, I'm not going to hinder another athlete to do what they want to do, love. Because I want them to enjoy another sport as well.
Absolutely.
So,
You never know.
but I wouldn't let any basketball girls play flag football because it's just,
Understood.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't allow. I highly discouraged.
Right.
I can't say I didn't allow.
A lot of pushback.
You just were gonna miss.
Right.
And if you really wanted to play basketball, then
Well, there's knee
you're
injuries, there's concussions, there's everything else that could keep you out even longer.
They were gonna miss a month and a half.
Yeah.
And you can't do that in high school sports.
But so in travel, when we're building an organization, I mean, especially when you're starting a little bit younger,
Sure.
we encourage two-sport athletes.
Yes.
Just give me communication. Let me know if you're going to be at practice or
Yeah,
not.
I
at
hate
practice.
travel coaches that leave it where their travel sport
It's my
is-
way or no way.
Right.
Yes.
And that is not a coach that I would want my child to be playing for.
Well,
Period.
Well, whose best
Period.
interest do they have?
They have their own best interest.
There
They
you go.
want to act like they're the king of the castle, and that happened a couple times. And the girl or the guy that I coached basically had to say, I can't play this high school sport. And I'm like, you're taking away, and you're not even going to get a scholarship in this other sport.
Right.
Come on.
Focus. Right. Focus on
Focus on the social part about your community,
Shake your moneymaker. Stay in the one
and
that's going to
become
pay
a
you.
better person for it.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of times there's a regret after the fact.
Mhm.
So, anyway, what we also like to talk about is other sports.
Sure.
And this past week, holy cow,
Loaded up, wasn't it?
loaded up.
Loaded up.
I mean, it was a great week to be on spring break. Not gonna lie.
How about if I do this? 4.
Oh my God,
and
the
I'm
Masters.
going to kick it over to you.
Yeah, the Masters. Yeah, that was. I watched it every day, and that's one of my bucket lists. Like, it's probably the only event that I have not been able to go to.
Would you like to go?
I would love to go to the Masters. That's on my bucket list. My wife has been on the lottery for us to get tickets for 25 plus years.
Hold on one second, Coach.
25 plus years.
Hey, Brad, can you get me Tiger on the phone? Oh, he's not available? Okay, can you get me Schefter?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Tell him that we need tickets for Grainer next year.
Yeah.
You know what, Coach? I'll tell you what. If we make it a year, if we make it back to Masters next year, which we are going to,
I hope so.
I'm going to get you a round of play there somehow, some way. I'm getting you and your
man.
wife tickets. I promise you.
Oh.
And I know you got an in. I think now, sort of.
I might.
Okay.
I hope.
Okay.
There's been a lot of talk with this other person that I know. Yeah, but
Fingers crossed.
But again, that's year by year.
Yeah.
I'm like
Well,
way down that list.
We ain't getting any younger.
No.
So it's time to go.
But
right?
anyway, the Masters.
Yeah.
So let's kind of get there. I mean, you're talking about even the last day. I went into downtown Woodstock with my wife, because we're in Woodstock, Georgia. This is where we're based at. And downtown Woodstock has kind of turned over a new leaf since we've moved here. Way back when,
It's
30
grown
years.
immensely,
It's
yes.
amazing. If you're ever in an Atlanta area, come to Woodstock. And
When did you get here?
I came in 91. My dad was
okay.
the first fire chief of Cherokee County.
Okay.
That incorporated
Awesome. I didn't realize that.
They incorporated everything, like all the volunteers. They got paid.
So you're really a legacy of Woodstock. You didn't build your own. Your father set the pace for you.
My dad was a trailblazer. That's how I actually got in here.
Shout out to Mr. Grainer, by the way.
Yeah, right. Chief Greener.
Chief Grainer, that's right.
And now, to kind of shout out to Kevin Lanier. He's the fire chief of Cherokee County, just got named, and I actually coached
Congrats.
him when he was a freshman.
Oh, that's amazing.
So it's kind of come full circle.
yes, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Awesome. But I would imagine you got a million stories like that.
Yeah.
But I just want to tell you, and I will let you harp on all the golf you want to. I'm gonna tell you three commonalities of golf that I know.
Okay.
Tiger couldn't get a ride. Rory won it.
Rory won it.
And Mark Calcavecchia got kicked out at age 65 years old, a former champion, for using his phone on the course. He's got to know better.
He's at Masters. You're not even allowed to take it down. Like, you have to leave the phone at the door.
Mark Calcavecchia, that's what beepers are for. Call him later.
That's right.
But go ahead, talk about. I mean, what did you enjoy the most about the Masters?
Again, it was kind of a nice Sunday. I watched it all. I watched the practice. I watched the par 3 thing on ESPN, which was really cool. I always like watching that. I like watching the families. That's what makes the Masters so special.
The par 3. Now, I did catch some of the par 3.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
The Masters is special because it incorporates the family and its tradition. And it's the only real major that I will truly sit down and watch.
Like no other.
But that last day, watching Justin Rose. Well, first, Cameron Young. Cameron Young started off. Burns started off really well. And then Cameron Young took the lead. And then one time at the leaderboard, they had the 1, 2, and 3 official world golf ranking players in the top 3 positions.
Awesome.
Which tells you how difficult that course is because you got 1, 2, and 3 there. And then you got 45-year-old Justin Rose. He goes up to the leaderboard, and 45 years old, he would have been the second oldest.
Oh, wow.
Second oldest winner.
That's hard to believe.
And Rory was going downward.
Like, he was on fire early, and then he just...
Then he went to -9.
Yeah, he struggled.
And he was like 3 shots back, and I was like, okay, well, my wife was like all annexed up about, she goes, I can't watch golf. It's too much anxiety for me to watch.
Whew, golf?
Yeah, well, she feels the pressure for these
Does
golfers.
She play?
No.
Okay.
No, but she feels the pressure. And
that's a good woman right there. She feels for those kids.
She does. She doesn't like seeing people fail, but she likes to see the victory. And she loves watching Rory. So when we went to downtown Woodstock, we had some chips and some drinks, and we watched the end of it. And we watched Rory roar back from -9 to
say that 3 times fast.
Rory roared back. I can't say it fast.
Rory roared back.
Aren't you glad I got it the first time?
Right.
But it was a great last day. No one thought about it. It was going to be after Friday when Rory had a 6-shot lead. Everybody thought it was going to be a rollover, and it wasn't. Golf's a funny game. It's a humbling game. I wish I could play more. I worked on golf courses throughout my high school and college years. I worked at Oak Hill Country Club in Rochester, New York, for 3 years.
He's just trying to get a free round, guys.
I'm not getting. I played Oak Hill, so I'm not worried about Oak Hill. And the U.S. Open was there in '89.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of shows my age.
Mm-hmm.
So able to work that too. So I've been around majors, and I've been around. The Masters is totally different.
Yeah.
And even when you watch it on TV, it's totally different.
Sure.
CBS and the Masters have that contract where CBS doesn't pay to film the Masters. Did you know that?
No.
That's all commercial from Masters. It's all, the Masters runs everything. CBS is at Masters beck and call. If they want something done, CBS has to do it. And they only have a certain amount of intermission of commercials because of the Masters, and it's only the ones that sponsor the tournament. They make over $1 million an hour on their sales of goods. And those little gnomes, people were lining up to get gnomes so they could sell them for $1,000 or $2,000 on eBay They were $30 domes. I mean, come on.
One of my buddies went up there, and I don't even know what the game's called. Is it Jymar?
Sure.
So
Chuck. Yeah.
Chuck, we won't say his last name for IRS purposes, but Chuck went to the Masters and went and saw around, and the lady's like, "Hey, you need to buy one of these,
Yeah.
and if you don't buy it now, there won't be any when you
Right.
come back."
People were asking people to buy those gnomes. Hey, if you're not going to buy them, would you buy them? I'll pay you $200.
He bought it for $650 that Jymar game.
Yeah.
Turned around and sold it for $5,000.
I'm telling you, it's a market. Masters has truly figured out how to market, and that's another thing that makes it Masters special. So anyway, great weekend of golf. It was a great week to kind of be off, to not feel any pressure, except for my wife who had a little anxiety about it.
Little golf
You know
anxiety.
what? Hey, I love her for that because I respect it.
Yeah.
You know, and
But she's got a sweet disposition if she feels that way
she
for others.
does. She
That's
doesn't
awesome.
want to see anyone fail,
Sure.
and I love that about my wife. So
Well, that's a coach's wife too. I'm sure part of that has to
No.
do as a coach's wife.
she
It's a little
couldn't
different.
really come and watch me coach anymore.
believe it.
And it was hard on her.
Yeah.
So, you know, she ended up starting to hate the sport I coach because it was hard for her to
Well, the
watch.
people in the stands are up there chirping, and it's like,
Yeah,
the
they
expert,
know.
come on down.
Just
Yeah.
like us, we know more than everybody
Right,
else.
absolutely. Just ask us. All you got to do is ask
But
us.
she loved actually watching lacrosse.
Yeah.
It was a different sport. When we both started to watch it, our kids just got into it, and we had really no idea. We started to love that sport because it was something new, and we both had something that we can kind of attach ourselves to.
Shameless plug, but we have a three-time national championship lacrosse coach in college and a three-time national coach of the year in lacrosse coming on very soon
That's
as
awesome.
as a registered guest with us as well. So
That's awesome.
shout out, Snow.
Yeah.
So let's switch gears, Coach. Let's go to a different ball, from the golf ball to the basketball. I
yeah.
know that's your passion.
Well,
I enjoy some basketball. I'm
we
not
just-
as much NBA as you are. However,
we just missed the NCAA tournament after we
I
started
know.
this.
Yes.
This was like the one thing I was like, oh,
let's get it in there.
let's
I
get
know.
it in there. But the NCAA tournament was great. But now,
Not if you're a Duke fan.
well, yeah, true. But I'm not gonna go.
Different story for a different day.
But let's kind of talk about the longest. It feels like the longest playoff season is NHL and NBA.
Sure.
And, you know, they go on forever. It feels
Yep.
like. But the NBA, the Atlanta Hawks, what a turnaround! They got rid of Trae Young,
Right.
which
Addition by subtraction.
absolutely. I was so in favor of getting rid of him, and all these Atlanta fans are like, "Oh, he's our franchise." He's not a franchise player for us.
He went from Atlanta to purgatory, didn't he?
Yeah. Where is he now? Washington?
Yes.
Okay. Good luck with
Yikes.
that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're looking at a cool playoff system here, and you know, you're looking at the matchups right now. I'm kind of looking up on
Sure.
our
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
The Eastern Conference with the Pistons and the Magic and Hornets.
Mhm.
The Pistons, golly, you know, you wouldn't think the Pistons were going to be good, but they remind me so much of the bad boy era
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they had Isaiah. That team is really good,
Well,
and you really don't know many players on that team.
I know one, Cade Cunningham.
Yeah,
But the thing that I want to
and
say,
he's turned into a superstar.
well, but every single team that's going to probably have a chance to win this,
Yeah.
I would like to say one thing about the NBA: when you draft that superstar, if you hit it,
You hit it.
you hit it.
Yeah.
And the teams we're going to talk about, they
Sure.
hit it on all those draft picks.
I mean, if you look at the Spurs, I mean, they're number
franchise
two.
chasers. Well, that's I love Wemby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stud.
And the Thunder, SGA.
Absolutely. Well, and you also got Chet Holmgren.
And yeah,
I mean, he was the first.
they've done a great job drafting.
Sure.
If you don't do a good job drafting and you don't develop, forget about it. You know, and everybody in Atlanta was like, well, you know, with Johnson, who is now to me one of the true superstars or future superstars of the NBA.
Mhm.
He went to the G League for 2 years,
Oh,
and
no.
everybody was
Wow.
like, "What is going to happen with this guy?" But they developed him. You
Right.
know, he wasn't fully
Which is
ready.
what it's for. G League's for that.
And you could destroy a player too if you bring him in too soon if they're not ready.
Right.
So I think the Hawks have done the right thing the last couple of years. You're going to see them turning it around even more. I think the addition by subtraction of getting rid of Trae Young,
Mhm.
who would jack up a half court shot and have it go long, and then he wouldn't play defense.
Never
going
met a
back.
shot he didn't like.
Yeah, that day is over, and I love how they play more team ball.
Right.
I love the Knicks. Being from New York, they're my team.
Well, let's start on the East Coast side. The
Well,
eastern
that's
side
where
of-
that's where I'm
okay,
heading.
Okay. All right.
So you know the series over the Pistons. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say
just focus on
Pistons.
the
are
Pistons.
gonna
Sure.
win.
I'll go with
Pistons.
the
I'm gonna
Pistons.
go Pistons.
Okay. Let's go Pistons.
Then we got the Cavaliers and Raptors. Another very, very tough series. I think this one can go, you know, pretty long in the time. I think it'll go at least 5 games.
But the Cavaliers are a sleeper team too, I think, in a weird way. But I don't think they've made it
Mobley's
past.
good.
I don't think they've made it past the second round in forever.
No.
Since what's his name? What's that one guy? LeBron or something? Yeah, LeBron. I think's his name. Yeah,
LeFlop, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, LeFlop.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of him.
Yes.
So
you're a Hawks guy, and you're
I'm a Knicks guy.
Well,
both my teams are playing each other.
I know, so that's what I was gonna say. So where are you at on those?
That's
games?
a hard one because I gotta go with the Knicks because I love the Knicks and I've been true to the Knicks. Love Brunson. I love what they have developed as a team. I think the difference between the Knicks and the Hawks is that you have a proven star player that will take over a game with Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
He showed that the last time they played a couple days.
You stole Brunson from the Mavericks from me now. Yeah, just so you know. That hurts my feelings, so go ahead.
So you got him, and you got Cat, and you got Bridges. You got a good group of people. Hart.
That's 4 quality players right there.
Yeah, and you got players there that are they're not going to go too deep into their bench. Where the Hawks, I think, will go a little bit deeper. If it goes long, I think the Hawks could take them. But if the Knicks can take care of business the first 2 games, it'll be over.
The first round's 5 games. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. First series are 5 games. So, what about in the? I know you're going to pick here, but
Celtics.
Okay.
You got to take Celtics with Tatum back and Jaylen Brown. I mean Wheeler, high school.
Yep.
You cannot go against the Celtics. To me, they're the team to be in the East over the Pistons. And if you take a look at the line,
yeah,
but that whole bottom bracket, the Hawks, Knicks, Celtics, Sixers, that's brutal. So, and if you're a true Northeastern,
you got to be a Celtics guy or Knicks guy
or
Knicks guy. You want those two playing?
You want those two playing? And I think the NBA wants those two to play.
Well, the television markets, I promise.
Television market wants those two to play.
Absolutely.
So I think and I hate saying that because television market does sometimes I think dictate in sports, especially professional, who wins and who loses.
Sure.
I don't ever want to say it's rigged, but
Well, now that you
the odds-on favorites are the Knicks and the Celtics to meet. So.
And you've got the Knicks winning it
against
the Celtics.
Oh.
In the Eastern.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think this could be the next year. Spike Lee, I'm rooting with you, buddy.
That's your buddy.
I love that.
That's your buddy. Spike's your buddy.
Spike will talk to anybody, especially if you talk to him about Knicks.
Sure.
And he will talk your ear off about the Knicks. He is a true Blue fan. But I think the Knicks have their best shot to get to the Eastern Conference Finals this year.
I'm going to make it easy. I'm just going to go with a one-shot trick pony. First of all, I hope the Hawks beat your Knicks, but if they don't, that's fine.
So.
Go Atlanta.
Yeah.
But however, I'm going to go with the Celtics. You got your Wheeler kid, as you just mentioned, and Jaylen Brown, Georgia boy, and you've got JT.
Yeah.
Where did he go to college? We're Dukies, baby. So I'm just pulling for the Duke factor with Tatum over there, and I hope he continues to win another championship.
Listen, I don't blame you. And the Celtics are rolling. When they roll, they roll. But I think the Knicks play a good style defense with them too. So it'll be interesting. But they had to get there first.
Sure.
So
growing up, I grew up on the Western Conference side of it.
Sure.
Kind of like I'm a National League baseball person as well. But
let's head on over to the West.
But on the Western side of it, like I grew up, I was in Dallas, Texas when the Mavericks got their team, and I think it was '87 was the first year they had that team.
Yeah.
First 2 picks were
English.
Huh?
Alex English?
Nope. First 2 picks the Mavericks drafted was Detlef Schrempf and Uwe Blab. Those were their top 2 draft picks.
The German team.
The German team. But those guys ended up having
great careers.
Yes, great careers, but later on different teams, unfortunately.
Yes.
So we didn't get to see them fulfill their dreams in the with the Mavericks. But also, like I said, Brad Davis, Rolando Blackman. I go old school. Mark Aguirre. Yeah. I mean, that's how far back I go.
See, Alex English was the one I was thinking of. When I think Mavericks, I think Alex English.
Yeah.
So old school,
definitely old school.
And then Mark Cuban.
Well, I hate that he sold. But
I do too.
The guy that he bought it from used to own a bunch of Don Carter owned a bunch of bowling alleys back in the day. We used to go bowling, and Don Carter was always on the front row dancing back in the '80s. Whenever
you look like Donald Trump doing that.
Yeah, well, I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, how about this?
Yeah, there you
go. But anyway, let's get to the West real quick, Coach. Tell me what you think here, or I can start that if you'd like me to, because I'm gonna go a little bit of chalk here. My expectations are you see the Thunder, the Lakers, the Nuggets, and the Spurs.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, and I'm confident he hadn't even called me today to complain about it, but I don't want to see LeBron win. I'm tired of seeing LeBron win. He's 41 years old.
I'm tired of watching him flop.
Every time I turn on Twitter, I can run 5.5 minutes of him flopping and never being touched.
Yeah, or walk
and gets every call.
Yeah,
and
or
gets every call.
walks up the court, and then while dribbling, quote unquote dribbling, he's walking.
Sure. so does Antetokounmpo. So
Yeah.
I watched a video of him the other day. He took 5 steps, 1 dribble.
So what do you think on the Thunder, Suns? Well, first of all, Suns and Warriors. That's a good play-in.
Well, then I'm going to go back to what I just said about the Lakers. Then I hope I'm over Steph and those guys too. They've won enough. It's kind of like the Chiefs. You get tired of that, unless it's one of my favorite teams, then I'm tired of them out.
I think the Thunder are really good.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a chance they go back to back.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I really, really think you're going to end up seeing probably the Thunder and obviously either the Nuggets or the Spurs in the championship.
Yeah.
Nobody likes probably the Joker. I love Jokic.
Dude.
He's a beast, man, and he don't take any crap from anybody, and he gives it out.
And he for being such a big guy, he's a triple-double machine.
He's a beast.
He's a beast.
He's a beast. He can do it all.
Yeah, I can't go against Joker. I like the Joker.
So let's go to the semifinals. I'm going to go with the the Western Conference Finals. I'm going to go with the Spurs. I'm going to take the chalk here. I'm going to go with the Spurs versus the Thunder.
Okay.
And since the Thunder won it last year, I'm going to go ahead and go with Wemby and that crew.
Okay.
And now that Pop is gone, I really support the Spurs. And
Sure.
Shout out to my guy Ernest Franco out in San Antonio, the biggest Spurs fan I know, and his daughter Meg making Wemby shirts.
Nice.
So
There you
shout out to
go.
you guys. But anyway, no, definitely
Little plug right there.
Yeah.
So go
well,
ahead.
she had over 1 million views. She made this sweater for Women Night. It's like she sewed it, and it's his
that's
face
awesome.
on the back. No, it got so many views. It was amazing. It's so cool.
That's
Probably
awesome.
took her 6 weeks to do it, but it was really, really cool. So I don't know how many she can mass produce. But
Right, she
anyway,
can do
shout
it.
out Meg. So who you got in the in those two? You have the Spurs and the Thunder?
You know what? I love that matchup, and I do. If it's gonna be anyone other than the Spurs, I think the Nuggets,
Okay.
just because of Joker.
Okay.
But
Who are you pulling for?
I like the Thunder.
Okay, the Thunder. All right.
I really like the Thunder a lot, and I would stay with the Thunder. And then you got a great matchup with whoever it is, either the Nuggets and Spurs. I think that might be the best series.
Absolutely.
Of anything in the
Heck
NBA.
yeah. That's why I was asking you earlier. I was hoping that they would reseed somehow.
Yeah,
so
no,
we
I
could get them out.
I hate when people do that reseeding stuff. I hate it when they do it in fantasy. I hate it when they do it in leagues. You earn that right because you beat someone. Don't punish them because they beat and upset someone. So,
Well, I have a question for you. So, who do you have in the finals, and who do you have it winning?
oh gosh, I'll go Thunder versus Celtics.
Okay.
And I think the Thunder get beat by the Celtics.
Oh, let's go. How many games?
I think it will go the full 7.
Okay.
I really do. I think the Celtics, when they want to play, they're so good.
Well, I
hate saying that because I hate rooting for Boston.
Yes,
stuff.
it's tough. It's so tough.
Yeah.
But they got Tatum.
Going to school in
and
Massachusetts
Jalen.
with all my friends in the Boston area.
Right.
Yeah, it was brutal, especially when New England was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
A minute ago.
Yeah.
So I have a quick trivia question. I'll give you my thoughts. I'm going to go with the Spurs, and I'm going to go with the Celtics.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Celtics to win it.
Okay.
Because I think I've told you before, sometimes I think you got to lose a couple before you can win it.
Right.
So you get to the semis, you get to the finals, then you lose a finals, then
Sure.
you lose one more, and then you get to the championship, and now you're on top. It took Michael Jordan. He had to beat the Celtics and the Pistons.
He's the
and some of
GOAT.
those guys. Yeah, of course he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
There he is over there
Yeah.
smiling at us, watching over us. So
Over in only in North Carolina, I think you could probably find this place.
So I have a question
So let me
for
hear
you.
this question. Yeah.
I got a trivia question for you. So you see those guys up on the screen there, right?
I'm looking at them. Yeah.
That is the last 6. Of course, some of them won
MVPs?
multiple. Last 6 multiple MVPs.
Yep.
So you know that. So what do you know any other idiosyncrasies or any other coincidences about the relationship of these guys? And it's kind of a trick question, but I'm going to show you their bodies so you can see.
Well,
Take a look. Take a guess.
they're strong.
They're strong. They're athletic.
Yeah.
They're handsome like us.
Well, they were all top 3 picks.
Would you like me to give you the answer?
Sure.
Since 2017, when Russell Westbrook won it, 9 years ago, these guys are the only ones that have won it. SGA is probably going to win it again this year, I'm assuming, right?
I wouldn't think he is the upper hand on it.
Here's your answer, Coach.
Trivia answer is... Wow, no tattoos.
None of them have tattoos. How rare is that in the NBA? And think about
And I hate that. I'm not a tattoo guy.
Yeah, me neither.
And
I have one, but I got it as a kid.
I do not have a tattoo, and I think it's a fad. And I hate when I see these high school kids gain them at such an early age, because I think, oh my gosh, you're going to regret that 20 years from now.
Well, I tell my kids, now you're an anomaly if you grow up and you don't have a tattoo. I'm like,
Yeah.
that makes you more unique than having a tattoo
it
almost,
does.
you know.
It
So,
does. Wow,
but is that
that's-
not wild that they
that's
don't none of them
wild.
have tattoos? I read that a couple last year, I think, and I was like,
That's
wow.
amazing. I didn't even, you don't even think about it.
So you know what I would tell future NBA guys?
Don't
coming
get
in?
tattoos.
Don't get tattoos.
If you
want
wanna be a
MVP,
star,
yeah,
don't
you
get
want
a
to be the MVP, don't get tattoos. Absolutely. That's what I would agree with. So,
All right.
So I think what we ought to do now is switch gears to another ball, and let's go into
Well, our producer's kind of telling
Wrapping
us
us up?
we have to wrap it up.
wrap it up. All right. Well, that will wrap up our first edition. Then our next episode. Let's get into baseball.
Yeah.
Let's get into the National League East.
Yeah,
our
because we
favorite
talk a
division.
lot about ourselves,
Sure.
and I would like, to kind of get into other sports, especially baseball.
Well, I'm sure other people like to hear about
Yeah.
sports other than
Yeah,
just
yeah.
hearing about us as well. So
Right.
we'll wrap it up. But look, it's Sweet Tea 30. It's time to wrap it up here on the Chapped Ass
that's right.
Podcast. So we want you to stay loud, stay chapped.
And I'm Coach.
He's
So,
Coach. I'm Chap
this is
Green.
Chap. Yep.
That's right. On the Chapped Ass Podcast, a face for radio. We'll catch you next time on episode number 2.
Peace.